Sports Talk. Let's go.
What it is, everyone? How you guys doing? It's me, your boy Ryan Flowers, aka Clutch Sports Talk, and welcome to another live edition of NFL Matchups. Man, we have a lot to talk about this evening. As usual, I'm going to be talking about the Chicago Bears sitting at the top of the NFC, I believe at 9-3. Who would have thought? Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, the Chicago Bears getting it done early. Well, not early in the season, but as we get later into the weeks here, getting it done. I'll talk about that. I'll give you my thoughts on that team. Are they legit? AFC North, the chaotic AFC North where up is down and down is up. You got Pittsburgh 1 minute, got a stranglehold on the division, and next thing you know, Ravens are looking good, and then they crap out. Then you got the Bengals now with Joe Burrow back, maybe like, maybe we got something. And then, of course, you got the Cleveland Browns. That's a whole nother story for another day. So we'll talk about that. And then, of course, I'll wrap up the show with my matchups, NFL matchups, breaking down all of the games, all 14 games, giving you my keys to victory, talk about some betting lines, some games that I think I would probably bet this week, and just kind of giving you my thoughts about that. If you're looking to bet or just, you want to be educated about what's happening, you're in the right spot for that. So if you love football, you love NFL football, and you like talking a little shit, you're in the right spot. So this is NFL Matchups with me, Ryan Flowers. Let's go.
We're going to be here all day, baby. I like this kind of party. I like this kind of party, baby.
All right, welcome back in, man. Hope you guys are doing all right. Happy Tuesday. Hope you guys are feeling good. Thanksgiving, great football day. You guys were around family, food, football, the 3 Fs. You can't go wrong with that. But before we move forward, man, I want to make sure you head over to the YouTube channel right now and hit up the channel, man. Like and subscribe. Share it with everybody, man. Let me know what you guys think. I'm trying to do big things towards the end of this year, but I need your support. Also, check me out on TikTok, Instagram, as well as on the Grid Network. You can see that down there below, the Grid Network YouTube channel. Hit up that channel as well. Support the other content creators that are doing their thing, like Bryson Carver, Carving Up Podcast. That's my boy. He has another show on Saturdays. I've got things called like Tailgates, like a college team. We got Barry Grant Jr., a bunch of other guys there. Tim, he does all Boston sports. So a couple other guys out there. So check it out. Also hit up the Grid Network website as well. I think it's thegridnetwork.com. Check it out. Make sure you check out my boy Patrick's articles. He does some really good work on some sports related articles. That, it's a nice little read if you got some time to kill there. So I'm live right now streaming on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube, as well as I said Facebook. Yeah, I said Facebook already. So, but without further ado, man, let's just get straight into it. And if you're watching right now, man, drop a comment, man, drop a flame emoji, do something, support your boy, whether you're watching on any of the platforms. I really appreciate it. So let's just get into the show. So Chicago Bears. The question is, are they for real? Now, they're currently sitting 9-3, top of the NFC with the loss to the Rams on Sunday to the Carolina Panthers, who I never saw that coming. But this is their best start since 2010. It's a long time, man. A long time. 15 years since they've mirrored a start like this. And what makes it remarkable is that it's under the helm of a rookie head coach in Ben Johnson and a second-year starter in Caleb Williams. Now, these two together, and particularly Ben Johnson, has found a way to bring new energy, new discipline, a winning culture into the Bears organization. Now, we know the Bears are a proud organization. You go back to the 85 Bears, one of the best defenses, not the best defenses in all of national football history. And now you bring them back to the forefront. Now they're being talked about, right? For the last couple of years, or less, God knows, since at least 2010, the Bears have been known as a laughingstock, going through quarterbacks, going through coaches. And now they are in this mode where this should have been a rebuild, but it's not. It's kind of like, we're here now. They said, skip all the rebuilding stuff. We got the players. We got the receivers. We got the quarterback. We got the coaching. We got the running backs. We got everything. We got the defense, right? So they're looking like legitimate contenders, rightfully so. Caleb Williams, like, a lot of people were up and down on him, especially last year. Who knows? It could have been coaching. He was a little bit undisciplined. He still needs to be a little bit more consistent for my liking, moving forward, especially when you start getting into those playoff games, because playoff football and regular season football is two different animals. Okay. But the way Ben Johnson has come in and kind of brought a complementary style of football where offense just needs to do what they need to do, his creativity, they're running the football. Ask the Eagles about it. They rushed over 200 yards between two running backs. Defense is playing good. So, special teams pretty solid. So overall, the doubts on Caleb Williams, they might still be a little bit there from some people like me who I need to see a little bit more from him before I go on and say, you know what, he's legit. I'm going to pause on that, okay? Because, again, we still got the playoffs coming up. And barring a catastrophic breakdown, this team is going to make the playoffs. Whether they finish as the number one seed of the regular season is one thing, but they're going to make the playoffs. I don't see them just totally falling apart the rest of the way. So we'll have to wait and see for sure. But Caleb Williams is a guy that's young and emerging. But again, you don't make your mark until the playoffs come. So that's what I want to see. So there's a bunch of talent surrounding him right now, rightfully so. It seems like they've addressed some of the issues on the offensive line. Like I said, they got Roma Dunze, DJ Moore, DeAndre Swift, Manunji, whatever his name was. That guy, he rushed for like 140-something yards against a vaunted Eagles defense, or at least we thought was a vaunted Eagles defense. And then listen, the remainder of the schedule is going to be a little bit tougher. You got a couple division matchups that you're going to have to handle, right? But they did a really good job in some of these big games that they've already won, right? So bottom line, are they real? Yes, I think they are. I think coaching, and a lot of people don't believe this, coaching goes a long way in any sport, and primarily in football. This roster, granted, I don't follow Chicago Bears football that much, but this roster is almost identical, but pretty close to what it was last year, right? Give or take a couple guys. And you saw what Matt Eberflus did. He didn't even make it at the end of the season. He got canned. All right. You bring in Ben Johnson, a new mindset, a new focus, a new strategy, and this team is hitting on all cylinders. So you don't become the number one seed team in the NFC currently if you're not legit, I would say, to some capacity. Like I said before, they got some teams down the stretch that they're going to have to kind of go through. But overall, it's going to be a true test. I would say by December was started yesterday. I would say in the next 2-3 weeks, I'll be able to kind of firmly stamp, like say, you know what, this team might actually make a run in the playoffs. So are they real? Yeah, they are. I'll give them that. But I'm not going to go off the edge and just say, you know what, just give them the damn Lombardi Trophy right now, because there still needs a lot to happen. Excuse me, I can't even talk. A lot needs to happen. Excuse me. So, but they're going to go only as far as Caleb Williams is going to take them, because I know Ben Johnson probably won a Kansas Coach of the Year, but at the end of the day, Caleb Williams is going to be the one taking the snaps, and he's going to be under fire. He's going to be the one in those pressure-packed moments against some of these divisional rivals that they're going to be playing, and when they make it to the playoffs. So, but overall, right now, if you're a Chicago's Bear fan, you're feeling pretty good. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, man. Are the Bears real or not? Are they legit? Or do you still need to see a little bit more from these guys before you say, you know what? I don't know about them, or I do know about them. So, but again, it comes down to Caleb Williams, in my opinion. All right. AFC North. Total chaos. You got Steelers looking like complete ass. You got the Ravens who they were looking to turn a page. You get Joe Burrow back, or you get to play him when he's coming back off of turf toe. You're at home. It's Thanksgiving. Everyone's riled up, and you play that type of game. Lamar Jackson does not look good. I'll say that, but I'll talk about him because I'm going to break down each team, right? But this division, literally, you got the Steelers, I believe, are 6-5, still the top of the division, but slipping. Can you believe they started 4-1 at one point? And they kind of did this last year too. And people fell for the fool's gold. I don't buy a lot of this stuff early on, right? The Eagles struggled to score. The Steelers struggled a lot to score points. Oh, Aaron Rodgers had 1 or 2 good games. You're like, he's back. Like, he's 41, people. He's not the guy that we knew back in Green Bay. All right. Ravens 6-6. They're second right now, so they can. They had a chance to get back into it. I mean, they're still in it. And then you got the Bengals and the Browns, who are kind of just playing for honorable mention. Bengals have a very distant chance of trying to win this division, but a lot needs to happen for them. But who knows? Maybe they get it done. I don't know. But let's start with the Steelers. 4-1 to start in the first 5 games, and they just stumbled. They have no offense whatsoever. DK Metcalf, it's like, why did you let? It's like why did you let George Pickens go? And then you go and get DK Metcalf when it's almost like the same thing. You can't get him the ball. What up, Brandon? Long time no see, man. He says, I went to school with this guy, man, back in high school, St. Monica's. What up, Brandon Cruz? I'll let your boy, man. Good to see you. You bring in Aaron Rodgers, which is like some people are, oh, yeah, we're good now. Again, like, is he an upgrade over Justin Fields? Maybe on paper. Maybe or Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. Yeah. Offense still can't get it done. Defense is – they're week to week, man. One day they're looking dominant. The next day it's like, I don't know. But one thing going for them right now, they do have the tiebreaker over the Ravens. So, but I still think they have one more matchup against them. But this December is going to be big, man. It's going to be huge this December. So what I want to see from them moving down into the last couple of weeks of the season is they're going to have to stop the bleeding. They're going to have to find a way to stop the bleeding to stop this further collapse. Because if they do this, I mean, I think Mike Tomlin's out of here anyway, if I'm being all honesty. In all honesty, I think he's gone regardless. But this team has not looked good. They have underperformed. One of the highest paid defenses in all National Football League, which I'm not a fan of that. This is an offensive-minded league. I'm not saying your defense should be underpaid, but the amount of money that they're spending on that side of the football, and they're not even like that dominant, like the way they need to be consistently. So, Ravens, listen, they started the year off pretty. I'm not gonna miss my words. They were pretty ass. Lamar Jackson goes down. You drop a few games there, and he just doesn't look the same, man. He does not look the same. I guarantee he's probably not 100%. He is not playing the way Lamar Jackson typically plays, or what we're accustomed from seeing, right? Being able to tuck the ball and run, like his ability to be so elusive and explosive in the run game is what makes him Lamar Jackson. And this is why you go back to all my videos, especially on TikTok, right? Like I was getting killed by people. And it's not that I don't like watching Lamar Jackson, but it's like you got to be able to throw, man, and that's not really his game. I'm not saying he's a bad thrower, but that's not his game. He is an athlete playing quarterback. And once that goes, the rest of it will soon fall. Now, he did have some really good passes the other night, but 3 turnovers, he just doesn't look sure of himself. Now, they got some winnable games down the stretch. That would include the Steelers, so maybe they have a chance of winning this division. I think I have more faith in them than I do the Steelers at this point. But what I want to see from them moving forward in the next couple of weeks is the defense continue to get better. Lamar Jackson's got to get comfortable at some point. He's going to have to find a way to heal up quickly, continue trying to run the ball. But even if they made the playoffs, I don't feel that they're going to make a deep run anyway. So, again, it's not a knock on the Ravens. They've had a really good, strong run. I'm not saying the run is over. This is still a winnable division by all means, stretch of the imaginary there. But I got to see more from Lamar Jackson if this team is going to overcome anything that's ahead of them. He's got to play better. If he plays better, then the team will play better. And one thing I will say about him, he's got to stop whining and complaining. If things don't go your way, you miss a pass, the balls, he gets to the sideline. He's like throwing his helmet down. He's sulking. We don't want to see that from a quarterback. And again, people say, oh, Ryan, you're so conservative. That's old school. Like, you don't want to see that. And I get the term is used, quarterbackial. I know that's not really a word, but we say that because, your quarterbacks are de facto the leaders of the team. That if you play football, that's the that's the law of the land, right? Not the kicker, not the middle linebacker, not the diva wide receiver, running back, lineman. It's the quarterback. And if your quarterback is dejected, looking toxic on the sideline, it kind of starts to spread around. So I need them to grow up a little bit. They're paying you a lot of money. I get it. You're injured. You got to fight through that. Everyone's injured at this point. It's week 14 in the National Football League. Get over it. All right. Cincinnati Bengals, I don't think they'll win the division, but you know what, man? I know a lot of people were against, including myself to an extent, Joe Burrow coming back to playing because it's like, for what? But I get it. If you played any type of competitive sports in your life, you know, like you cannot just sit on the sideline. Like alpha dogs do not just sit by and watch everyone play. They want to be on the court, field, track, whatever the case may be. All right. And Joe Burrow was not going to sit there the rest of the year and not and 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 not play at all. Right. Shout out to K2. He's liking a lot. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for jumping in on TikTok. But back to the Bengals. I mean, if their defense can somehow just be formidable, there is a shot in hell that they can actually win this division. Like, Joe Burrow is going to play good. And then they're going to get guys like T. Higgins back. Their offense is explosive. There's no doubt about that. He's worth at least 4 or 5 games, right? Oh, I mean, we're week 14. They got about 3-4 left. He's worth about 3 of those for sure. Is it enough to get them back in? No, because I think the hole that they've dug is a little bit too deep. But they can definitely play spoiler for some like teams like either the Steelers or the Ravens from winning this division overall. But like I said, it's going to boil down to their defense. And defensively, if they can figure that out, they have a really long shot. A really long shot. But, I don't foresee it happening. And then finally, Cleveland Browns is pretty simple. Inconsistent at quarterback. Whether it's Shador, whether it's Dylan Gabriel, there's a talent gap on this team, top to bottom, at least from an offensive standpoint. Defensively, one of the best in the league. Who's the quarterback going to be next year? Who knows? It's like, who's going to be the coach? I will say this, and I talked about Shador 2 weeks in a row now, and I'll mention this. Like, it's not that I don't want to see him succeed. It's not even that. But I think what really pisses people off or what makes him so polarizing is his supporters and fans. And I was watching a guy on TikTok the other day, I believe it was Sunday or yesterday. He came to this realization that, like, oh, well, it's not Shador's fault. It's the Browns. They suck. Well, newsflash, guys. We knew the Browns sucked. Whether it's Dylan Gabriel, Shador Sanders, they didn't block for Dylan. They're not blocking for Shador. If they're not catching passes for Dylan, they're not catching passes for Shador. And I'm not saying Dylan Gabriel is just a world beater, because he's not. He's a fringe, borderline NFL quarterback at best. Shador at least got some height. He's got a good arm. He can push the ball down the field. So there is some hope for him. But what I don't like is people moving the goalposts every minute. It's like 1 minute, oh, man, you saw him against the Raiders, man. This young man, he seized his moment. He has arrived. And it's like, it's the Raiders. The Raiders are like 2 steps away from being a semi-pro team, literally at this point. Then the next week, all right, more formidable defense. And really not even that formidable, because you think about it. The Niners are missing like 3 out of their 4 best defensive players. So I get it, man. Like, people want him to succeed so bad. He's got this chip on his shoulder. I get all that. And then he says certain things, and I don't want to make it about him because people will think that I'm just kind of like bashing him. But at the end of the day, these are the facts. This is what it is. Like, could he play? I think he can. You go to the right situation. But he's not overcoming the Cleveland Browns. That's just a fact. And this team they're not going anywhere anytime soon. So the AFC North is chaotic, but it's not really chaotic because they just suck. They flat out suck. So overall, in the next 4 to 6 weeks, we'll see what's going to happen here. But this division is probably going to come down to a head-to-head matchup between the Steelers and the Ravens. Simple as that. And whoever wins that game late in December will win this division, hands down. Now, if these both teams slip, it opens the door for the Bengals, which I'm a huge Joe Burrow fan. So I wouldn't mind seeing him get a little run in the playoffs or make a run at it, because I like the way he plays. Let me know what you guys think. But the way it's going to wrap up is that the team that wins this division is probably going to be barely just above 500, and they're going to but they'll be a division winner, so they'll host a playoff game. So, but I will say this though, there is parity in this division for sure. There's two solid teams that are going to win this division, or one. There are two out of the four that are really favorite to win, and you got the one wild card, and you got one team that's just like, what the hell are we doing? Why are we even lining up here? So I don't know. All right, it wouldn't be NFL matchups if I did not break down every game and give you my thoughts and some betting lines on each of the 14 games going into this week 14 week. This is a big week. We kick off with Dallas on Thursday Night Football. Lions, last time I checked, -3 favorites at home. 53.5 is the over-under. Dallas coming off of a stretch of, man, 3 games. You got the Raiders beat that ass. Come from behind win against the Eagles at home, right? A really solid win against the Chiefs in a game that I thought the Cowboys would lose, right? It didn't look good in the beginning. So, and then you got the Lions who are wounded right now. I'll talk about them. As far as keys to victory for the Cowboys, it's pretty simple, man. Control the run game, which I think they can. I think they can. And that's on both sides, whether it's stopping the run and running effectively with Javonte Williams. I think the addition of Quinnen Williams and you pair him up with Kenny Clark, you got Overshown, you got Morgan Wilson, who they added via trade from the Bengals. They have shored up that defense for sure. You're getting guys like Malik Hooker back, Donovan Wilson, for sure. You got to protect Dak Prescott because Aiden Hutchinson is out there. Protect him, avoid turnovers, and you convert in the red zone, and you walk out of here with a pretty good win, I would say, if that happens. Now, if you look at the Detroit side of things, you're dealing with a lot of injuries. Amon St. Brown, he's probably not going to play this game. I think he's ruled out. Terrion Arnold, out, right? One of your best corners, if not your best corner, out. So what do? You have to force turnovers somehow, some way. Dak is prone to giving you an interception. Now, he's been pretty solid this year. I'll give him that. But they are going to have to thrive on having short fields, so therefore getting turnovers or playing field position, right? That's what they're going to have to do, and they're going to have to win the battle of explosive plays. If they do that, they have a chance, but I don't think so. Dan Campbell is not a great play caller. I just don't think he is. He struggled. He's definitely struggling, and this whole gambling man type of deal, going for it when you should probably be kicking field goals or punting, is going to come back to bite him in the ass. I like the Cowboys. This is a perfect spot for them to really prove to everyone that, you know what, maybe they can pull this off and make the playoffs. So like it's still a tall order, but I like the Cowboys at +3 to go into Detroit and get that game going there. So, all right. Seattle Seahawks on the road taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Seattle is -7.5. As far as the Seahawks are concerned, man, shut down Bijan Robinson. That's it. Just limit him as much as you can. Kirk Cousins, he's a shell of himself. I'm pretty sure Seattle's going to be able to get after him. You see what they're doing out there. I know they played this undrafted rookie last week, and that guy was in over his skis. And Kirk Cousins is almost there. No mobility whatsoever. This is a very underwhelming team. I like Seattle to go on the road and win this game. I can give you my pick already, but keys to victory for Atlanta, if they have any shot in the dark, you're gonna have to tempo. Get the ball out quick. You cannot have Kirk Cousins just sitting there and just trying to limit your mistakes. But with that said, I don't think any of that's gonna happen for them. I like Seattle to win this game, and I like them to cover at -7.5. All right, Pittsburgh Steelers and Baltimore Ravens. This is a big matchup. I just talked about it. Favorite game so far this season. Which one is that, Stoner? Is that the Cowboys and Lions? I don't know which one you're talking about. But anyway, Pittsburgh at Baltimore. We all know what happened Thanksgiving to Baltimore. They're looking to fight back, but the Ravens are -6 favorites in this game. Over under is 43.5. Steelers defense going to have to come up here big. They're going to have to slow down the play action, slow down the running game, and you got a chance. You got a chance and win the turnover battle. Now, if you are the Baltimore Ravens, it's pretty simple, man. Like, you have an edge rusher in TJ Watt, right? You got some pretty skilled guys in the secondary, right? You're going to have to find a way to get a turnover. And Lamar Jackson has been a turnover machine. Find ways to and even Derrick Henry started off the year like that. And I think he got a chance. But I think the Ravens are more offensively capable than the Steelers at this point, and they're at home. I think it's going to be a close game because the teams know each other. But I like the Ravens to not to cover though. So if I was betting this game, I'd probably go +6. But I do like the Ravens to win this game. And then the question was, I'm asking your favorite NFL game. He says, you know what? That's a good question. I kind of like the Cowboys. The Cowboys Chiefs game was pretty entertaining, I would say. Not just because I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm trying to think. There's probably another game out there that was really good too. Off the top of my head, I can't think of one. It's a good question. I don't know. But recent memory, I would say Cowboys Chiefs. I thought that was a good one. I know there's a game in there somewhere where it's just a shootout. I just can't think off the top of my head. What's your favorite game, Stoner? Let me know. All right, we got Bengals, Bills. Bills at home, -6 favorites, 51.5. Bengals, pretty simple. Protect your quarterback against Buffalo's defensive rush, and you got to make big plays, which they can. You got Jamar Chase. Not sure the status of T. Higgins, but you got Jamar Chase. He's a unit in his own right. And if Joe Burrow plays the same way that he played on Turkey Day, this might be a game because we all know the Bills are good for a letdown, right? They struggled early against Pittsburgh. Now they pulled away, but this is not a lock them down team. Like this is not a team where you're like, oh, they got to win this spot. So with that said, Buffalo, pretty simple for me. Win the trenches. You're gonna have to force Joe Burrow to hold on to that ball. So meaning those third downs need to be like 3rd and long. You want him holding that ball as long as possible so Joey Bosa can get to him. And if you do that, then you do that constantly, you got a chance. But I don't know. I got a feeling Joe Burrow is going to go into Buffalo and beat them. I'm smelling an upset here. And I'm not rage baiting. I'm definitely not rage baiting you guys. I mean, like, think about it. Like, Joe Burrow is him. I don't care. I know he ain't got a Super Bowl ring, but the dude is a beast. And that's pretty much simple, man. Like, he is a beast. When healthy, Joe Burrow, if not one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best quarterback in the National Football League. I said it here first. That's my belief, right? I like Joe Burrow. So, but I like the upset there. All right, let's see who we got here. We got Tennessee at Cleveland. Oddly enough, Cleveland -4.5. We got Cam Ward versus Shedeur Sanders. A little rivalry there. I don't know if you guys saw there was some stuff going on in the offseason with Shedeur and Cam Ward. A little friendly brotherly rivalry, right? So now they get to start against each other. Cam Ward is going to try to bring his best. The over under is 33.5. I would definitely take that. I would take that. I don't think this is going to be a high scoring game. But if you're Tennessee, control the clock. Keep Cleveland's offense off the field as much as possible. And as far as defense is concerned, limit the big plays. Shedeur will try to push the ball down the field against this very, very I'm going to say underrated, fragile secondary. This is not a very good secondary unit. I would expect Shedeur to try to take advantage of that as much as possible. Problem is, you don't really got good receivers. All right. Now, Browns stop the run. For any young quarterback, teams are going to try to run the football. Stop the run, and Tennessee's going to have to create some own splash plays on their own. With all that said, though, I do like the Browns to win this game. I think Shedeur will get his second win in National Football League, just because I think the defense will be able to just shut down Tennessee whatsoever. Now, if this game was somehow in Tennessee, maybe I might be more inclined to pick Tennessee, but they're in Cleveland. I'm going to go with Cleveland on the road, at home to get the win. All right, we got the Indianapolis Colts, a team that's kind of like trending down. All right, they were everyone's sweethearts a couple weeks ago. I was not fooled by them. Daniel Jones is apparently playing with a broken foot or leg or something like that. And before I read off the stat line, that just tells you how much they believe in Anthony Richardson. They rather play a dude who's literally got a broken leg, who's immobile for the most part, versus a guy that's somewhat healthy. Like Anthony Richardson, it's not looking good for you, my brother. It's not. They rather play a broken dude than a guy that's healthy. So with that said, Colts are favored. This is a divisional rival game. Colts are favored at -1.5. Over under is 48.5. Colts, you're on the road. Things get really weird in Duval County. So you're going to have to just kind of keep everything close to your vest. You're going to have to run Jonathan Taylor. Run Jonathan Taylor as much as possible. And and convert in the red zone, right? You cannot ask too much from Daniel Jones at this point. Again, he's playing with one leg, right? Defense, limit deep shots. Limit deep shots. Pause. I know that sounded really weird. We're talking about football. Deep shots. Defend those vertical seams that the Jaguars like to take advantage of, and you got a chance. Now, if you're the Jaguars, you want to create pressure on the opposing quarterback because, like I said before, he's broken. The guy has a broken leg, right? And you're gonna have to convert on third downs, right? You do that, you win the game. This to me is almost like a pick 'em in my opinion. So although the Colts are favored in some odds makers' opinions, I'm going with Jacksonville to win this game. I think they'll win this game. So if I would take them, but you probably could take them straight up, or if you want to do a plus, you could probably take them on the plus 1.5 if you're doing like a parlay or something crazy like that. I don't know, but I do like Jacksonville to win this game for sure. All right. Let's see. We got Washington Commanders, Minnesota Vikings. What a disaster Minnesota has become. Arguably one of the best teams in football the last couple of years. Got Sam Darnold lighting it up. They let him go. You put J.J. McCarthy in. He's a broke dick. He's hurt. This guy that they brought out this man. If not prepared was a player's name, it would be. I mean, I don't even blame the kid. I mean, you saw him in Seattle on the road. One of the best defenses, if not the best defense in the National Football League, outside of them and like Cleveland and then like the Texans. What do you expect? Commanders coming in, as a favorite, -1.5 on the road in Minnesota. Marcus Mariota, pretty solid game against Denver, which not that impressed with Denver. I get it. They're the opposite of like the Bears, right? Outside of like, I believe it was like the Cowboys, and there was one other team. They just beat the brakes off them. All their games have been like 5 points or less wins, or 6 points, or something crazy like that. I think I read a stat like that. But anyway, long story short, Commanders, be physical. Be physical. Come into this game wanting to run the football. Marcus Mariota will complete those short yardage passes. He's a very good backup. Now, don't expect him to go on a run and win like 5-6 games for you, but this is a spot where I feel like he can get the job done. Now, as far as the Vikings are concerned, I don't know who your quarterback is. McCarthy is not good, and the other guy isn't good. So it puts a lot of stress on your defense to be perfect. And I don't think they can do that all the time. They're going to have to convert third downs, and they're going to have to win third downs on defense. They're going to have to get off the field and try to create as many opportunities for their offense to get them going. Justin Jefferson is a non-factor in these games, a non-factor. But I like Washington. I think -1.5 is a good spot for them right here. I do like Washington to win this game outright. All right, Miami Dolphins taking on the Jets in a surprising win against Atlanta Falcons. Miami heads into New York. The Dolphins are a -2.5 favorite. Over under is 41.5. Excuse me. Miami Dolphins establish the run, get that high-powered offense going, or not high-powered offense, but establish the run and get your defense on the field so that way you can get after the quarterback as much as possible. And then just avoid trying to be predictable. Mike McDaniel's offense has been pretty predictable as of late. Guys they're not respecting, and it could just because you're missing guys like a Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, who's been in and out of the lineup. So, but as far as the Jets are concerned, quarterback consistency. It's probably going to be Tyrod Taylor again because Justin Fields is just that bad. They're going to have to win short yardages on offense. They're going to have to keep drives alive. Again, kind of like with Minnesota, try to get some turnovers to give your guys some extra possessions, maybe to try to steal a win here at home. I do like the Dolphins, though, to win this game overall. I think they just got a little bit more oomph, but I will say the Jets are playing a little bit better. This is going to be a close game. If I was a betting man, probably go +2.5 on the Jets on this one. Just because it's a division game, and who knows? Who knows what could happen in those types of games? So let me know what you guys think there. What up, TikTok? You guys quiet in the chat, man. What's up? We got New Orleans Saints taking on Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Buccaneers favorite at home, -8.5. Over under is 42.5. Saints, I don't know, man. This team is an old roster. Alvin Kamara, Cam Jordan. Chris Olave, we don't know really how good he is. He hasn't had a good quarterback in the league. But as far as keys to victory for them, I mean, you have to find a way to pressure the quarterback. You're gonna have to find a way to pressure Baker Mayfield, and on offense, just mix it up. Try to run the football. Try to be as balanced as possible. But I don't think it'll be enough. As far as the Buccaneers are concerned, you get Bucky Irving back. That's a big, big, big get for them. If the Bucs can get healthy, win a couple games down the stretch, it's a scary team. I know the injury bug has really hit them really hard. Them like the Niners, like the injury bug has really messed them up, but they've dropped a couple games. I thought, that Rams game on paper, if they had their full repertoire of guys that weren't hurt, might have been a better game, but I get it. Injuries are part of the game, especially in the National Football League. But as far as their offense is concerned, Baker Mayfield continue to try to be consistent. You got some good wide receivers, but running the football is going to be your best bet. Running the football, be consistent, be balanced. You'll get that win. I do like the Buccaneers to cover this game at home. Las Vegas Raiders and Denver Broncos. Broncos favorite at home, -7.5. Are they at home? Yeah, they should be at home. No. Am I right? I don't know. But either way, Raiders, listen. You're going to have to force Denver into some long third down conversions. As many as you can. You got Max Crosby. This is not a good football team. It's just not a good football team. And I'm trying to come up with some type of motivation for them. They probably need to change their quarterback, but who do you have in the stable that's going to be any better than Geno Smith? I guess anybody would be better than Geno Smith. It's funny, one of my cousins, he went to the game on Sunday against the Chargers, and he texted me. He's like, "Man, the Raiders are ass, or the Raiders suck." And I texted him back, and I said, "Well, what happened?" And then he said, "Geno Smith." And then I was like, that's all I needed to know. That's all I needed to know, man. But defensively, Bo Nix is very inconsistent. He still is. He'll give you a quarter where he's like amazing, and then he'll give you a couple quarters where he's like, this guy's an NFL quarterback. So, they did play the Broncos close the last time. Believe it was a Thursday night game or Monday night game. I forgot which one it was. So your best chances is try to pressure him as much as possible. Maybe, again, steal a possession or two. But Broncos control the line of scrimmage. This is not a good team. Get on them early, score fast, score quick. No problems there. Limit turnovers, and you should put them to bed before the second half even starts at the end of the day. So I like the Broncos to win this game. I know it's a divisional game. It should mean something, but it doesn't. The Raiders are just really that bad at the end of the day. So, all right, we got, let's see, Bears and Packers. This is a big game, NFC North. Both teams really good wins in Week 13. Bears beating the Eagles on Black Friday. Packers beating the Lions on the road on Turkey Day. Packers are favored -6.5. They're at home. Over-under is 44.5. Listen, the Bears contain the playmakers. Jordan Love looks really good. There was a moment where in the season where you're like, they lost Tucker Kraft. What are they going to do? But Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson, what was the other kid's name? I forgot his name. He had that touchdown that they had to review it, and it some people say it wasn't a catch. It wasn't a catch. I think it's DeAndre Wick, something like that. He had a really good game. So they got guys. They're not consistent, but they got guys. It's like a carousel of guys, and you don't know who's going to be the hot hand that week or day or even that quarter. But they're going to have to try to force turnovers. They're going to have to try to get the Packers to make mistakes, which Jordan Love is prone to do so. And when they do that, you have to take advantage of that, which I think they can do that. As far as the Packers are concerned, you got Micah Parsons, 12.5 sacks. He's on a pace to really have a lot of sacks this year, which, he should, right? He's Micah Parsons. But I don't know. I lost my train of thought there. Micah Parsons, yes. So as far as the Packers are concerned, get after the quarterback, force Caleb Williams. This is one thing about Caleb Williams. He's like a poor man's Patrick Mahomes, and that's not even like a slight, right? Because if you really watch Caleb Williams a lot, he makes a lot of plays happen outside the pocket. When he learns how to be inside the pocket and conduct his business from there, he's got the skill set to be one of the greats. So if there's any team that can get after him right now, it's going to be the Packers. You got two really good defensive ends. The the Packers have a really good defense at the end of the day. And if you're the Packers defense, you have to limit the explosive plays because the Bears have guys too. And I know, and someone mentioned that in the comments too, a guy named Cheeto. What up, Cheeto? He says Bears got guys too, and they do. They got guys. Ask the Eagles, right? Especially in that run game. So this is a very good matchup. I personally don't like the Packers at -6.5. So who I think to win this game, I kind of like the Packers at the end of the day. If this was in Soldier Field, I might be more inclined to go with the Bears. But if I'm reading this correctly, the Packers at home, I like the Packers. I like what I saw from them. But this should be a really, really good game overall, for sure. And even if the Bears happen to lose this game, it's not really a slight to them because this is a really good team, right? It's one thing if they're losing to teams that are not going to be in the playoffs. There's no shame in losing to a team that's like a Super Bowl contender type team. Like, there's no shame in that. So, hey, what up, Ben? How about those boys? Yeah, looking pretty good, man. Looking pretty good. That's a Curb Your Enthusiasm. If you ever watch that show, pretty good there. All right, we're almost done here. We got 3 more games. We got LA Rams, Arizona Cardinals. Rams favorite, -8.5. Over under 48.5. It's what happened to them on Sunday in Carolina. It happens, man. It doesn't mean that they can't win the Super Bowl. It doesn't mean they're not a strong team. Shit like that just happens from time to time. That's just a fact. So, as far as keys to victory, I mean, listen, it's a divisional rivalry. The Cardinals, I don't know what to say about them. They are kind of like in no man's land. They don't really have a quarterback because Kyler Murray's at their guy. Jacoby Brissett is trying to give them some juice. But if you're the Rams, man, just go back to doing what you're doing, man. Give the ball to Devontae Puka. Run the football. You got a really good defense. I think last week was just an oversight at the end of the day. And it happens to all the best teams, man. Like, you're going to have a hiccup or there too. You're not going to go and be like the Miami 72 Dolphins and go undefeated. It's very hard to do that. So it happens. These guys are not perfect, and it happens. So as far as the Cardinals are concerned, just try to stop the bleeding, man, because they don't have it. And it's funny because they've been in a lot of close games. I will give them that. They've lost a lot of close games, but this is if the Rams did not come off the loss that they just had, I would say this game might be a little bit closer, and I'd probably be more inclined to take the Cardinals on +8.5. But I don't see the Rams coming out and just saying, you know what, we're going to be pedestrian. They're going to come out guns blazing and try to kick the shit out of Arizona. So I like the Rams to cover in -8.5 on this one. All right. Big one here. Houston Texans, Kansas City Chiefs. Man, I didn't even change my graphic the whole time. What a bummer. I just thought about that. All right. Big one. Houston Texans, Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs -3.5 at home. Listen, a couple weeks ago, I was like, man, Chiefs making the playoffs. And I wanted to believe in them so bad, like a kid would believe in Santa Claus or the Tooth Fairy Easter Bunny. But I think everyone else is right. I think they're pretty. I'm not saying the dynasty or the reign is over, but the playoffs are not looking good for them right now, I would say. Now Texans coming off of a really good win, but 4 wins in a row, if I'm not mistaken. CJ Stroud back in the saddle after Davis Mills kind of helped him out and kept the team afloat there while he was out. Texans just you know the Chiefs' backs are going to be at the wall, and they're at home in a must, like literally. This past week was must win. This is must win. So you're going to get the best version of the Chiefs that you've seen all year round. Okay. So with that said, you have to find a way to slow down that passing attack. Mahomes, despite the loss, still threw like 300-something yards and 4 touchdowns in a loss. No interceptions. Okay. This defense let him down in the end. So stop the quick game and try to win the turnover battle. Try again, like I said with other teams, try to steal a possession or two from this team to better your chances. Now, if you are if you are the Chiefs, you're going to have to protect Patrick Mahomes. This is the best, outside of them and Seattle, the two best pass rushing teams in the football right now at all. Best two defensive lines. And the way the Texans get after it, it's fun to watch. So you got to keep Mahomes upright. So running the football will help. I need a little bit more from Xavier Worthy. I mean, like, he's supposed to be this fast guy, but like, he's not explosive. He's just fast. And I know that sounds stupid, but hear me out. Like Tyreek Hill was explosive. When I see Xavier Worthy, I don't see that. I just see a skinny guy that's pretty quick, right? Other than that, like, and I think that's really what they're missing still. Like, they try to find it in Worthy or Hollywood Brown, but nothing comes or compares to Tyreek Hill and the explosiveness that he brought to this offense. So Rashee Rice is a dude. Like, don't get me, he is a dude. And there's a reason why the Chiefs were like, you know what, he had his little legal altercation, but you know, they were like, we're gonna keep this guy in the league somehow, some way, and they did at the end of the day. So it is what it is. So, but in the end, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. I can't see them losing this game, man. And if they do, I guess Santa doesn't exist. I mean, I don't know. Ben says, right now the Chiefs are swift, and I mean soft. He also says, this is a make or break game for both the Texans and Chiefs. Whoever wins has a better chance to make the playoffs. I agree. It's a playoff game. And this is what you want as an NFL fan, right? This is a playoff game in week 14. That's what we want. The NFL is in their corporate offices like, yeah, this is what we want. This is the matchup we want. So, all right. What up, Chris? He's got the cry emoji and the Eagles flying. Yeah, they're flying. They're flying into an abyss of disappointment, I would say. All right, finally, before we get up out of here, we got perfect timing there, Chris. Before we get out of here, we got the Eagles and the Chargers. Chargers beating the Raiders. They're at home, but they're the underdogs. Eagles are -2.5 on the road. Over under is 40.5. Let's start with the Eagles here. It's pretty simple, man. Your offense needs to get going, period. Like, Jalen Hurts, throw the ball down the field. And this is what I was hearing. Oh, Jalen Hurts, he's a top 5 quarterback. He's the best quarterback in the league. He wins and whoa. Not saying he's not a good quarterback, but guys, winning and playing quarterback, this is going to sound stupid, but just I'm going to try to back this up and try to make this as clear as possible. Yes, you want to win as a quarterback, and when you do win, you get most of the credit. When you lose, you get the credit too. Jalen Hurts is not one of your prototypical quarterbacks. He doesn't throw the ball down the field, right? He's not really a great leader, in my opinion. He's very reserved. He's just kind of like one of those guys that's out there. That's like, he's out there, he's going to do what he can, and that's pretty much it. He's not going to try to rally. And I'm just basing it off of what I've seen from my own eye. I'm not in the locker room. I'm not in the facility. I don't know what happens with them behind the cameras or behind closed doors. But he has got to get it going. Saquon is not going. He's not having the season he did last year. And that was a big reason why they were so successful, right? You're not going to get it done if you're dinking and dunking. My man, you have A.J. Brown and you have Deontay Smith. Like, I don't know if it's the play calling. Like, you guys got to figure that shit out. Your defense is still good. I get it. The Bears run a roughshod over them on Friday. It's still a good defense. Vic Fangio is a great defensive coordinator. He just got outcoached. Simple as that. It happens. You have an opportunity now to go into LA. Justin Herbert is hurt. He had surgery on his hand or something crazy like that. Like, if the Eagles are going to win this game, it's going to be because of Jalen Hurts wins this game for them. And he needs to do that. He can't have, and this is what drives me crazy about the whole social media. And like, he's had some really good games in the past. Super Bowl games, good playoff runs. But historically, he's not a guy that's out there just slinging the ball up and down the field. He's just not. That's not his game. That's not his game. And people make fun of Dak. But you know what? Dak will throw the ball down the field. right? He's going to try, and especially under the new regime with Brian Schottenheimer, like where it's like they're conservative to an extent, but he's like, hey man, take your shots. The Eagles need to let it open. If you think Jalen Hurts is that good, then just go and win the game. Now, if you're the Chargers, you got to protect Justin Herbert at all costs. Run the football. Run the football. Keep the ball away from them as much as possible. And you got a chance. You got a chance. But at the end of the day, though, the Eagles are a better roster. So I do like the Eagles to win this game. But if you are a betting man, and my rule of thumb is a lot of times when I see -2.5 or +2.5 on there, I kind of like the plus. I like the plus on that. So that's just a strategy a friend of mine told me. And we always look at that together a lot of times and be like, hey, man, how'd that team do who was +2.5? How'd they do? And a lot of times they win. So that's just my opinion. So I don't know. All right. Well, there you have it. Those are all 14 games in the National Football League for Week 14. TikTok, what's up, man? Let me know what you guys are thinking before I get up out of here. We got any more comments here? Chris, he says, yeah, the Eagles are super shaky right now. He says, I'm scared. Yep. This man loves his emojis. Never trust a guy that loves that many emojis. I'm just kidding, Chris. You know I got love for you, my brother. So, all right, man. That's all I got this evening, man. I appreciate you guys for stopping by. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Again, please hit up the YouTube channel. Head over to the channel right now. Like and subscribe. For those watching on TikTok, subscribe to me right now. Head over to my Clutch Sports Talk podcast on YouTube. I know it sounds like I'm asking for a lot, man. I get it. But help a brother out. Help a brother out, man. If you enjoy the content, you like what I'm talking about, or you're just intrigued a little bit, you want to see a little bit more, head on over. I'm on Instagram. Do whatever it is. I'm pretty much everywhere. Try to do what you can before I leave. Last comment, Ben says, I worry about the Chargers offensive line. They can only do so much against a good Philly defense. Absolutely. And that's kind of the reason why I like Philly too. So check me out, man. Other than that, I will be back next week, Tuesday, Week 15, NFL matchups. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. Like I always say, this is your boy Ryan Flowers, a.k.a. Clutch Sports Talk. Never settle till the work is done. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Clutch Sports Talk. Let's go.